youngsters. So as you can see, today we have press record. Yeah, lovely. Okay, so youngsters, as you can see today we have stats on the board here. So we're going to be talking about specific things with regards to stats. Lovely. Now the reason I wrote it all so small here, it's just these are specific formulas that you need to know of by heart. Right. So I'm going to show you these formulas as well as variance and standard deviation with regards to statistics. Then obviously once you know this here, we'll have part 2 of stats next week. Lovely. Now, what I mainly need you guys to know, or what I need you guys to actually understand, is how stats is going to be asked. It's a very easy section and a section where you should try and get your full marks in it. Lovely. So, the main type of thing that we're going to talk about is all these specific things in your statistics. Right. So here's my set of data. Right. So here I'm going to give you a whole lot of data. Say it's just a bunch of people who scored out of 50 marks. Right. So we have, say, 10 students who scored out of 50 marks. Right. So the first student here got, say, 22 out of 50, 23 out of 50, 27 out of 50, 30 out of 50, 40 out of 50, 45 out of 50, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 47, right, out of 50, so let's just make it a bit neater. 47 out of 50, let's say one student got 50 out of 50, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 21, let's make it 22 again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10. Lovely. So that's 10. So these are my 10 students. So with regards to the specific data given here, we're going to answer, so with regards to the specific data given here, we're going to answer all of these specific questions. So as you can see, I've given 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I'm going to show you standard deviation in your variance and how to use your calculator to calculate your mean. So you see, your mean is not always calculated using a formula. You can just go straight away and use your calculator to calculate it, which is quite simple, quite easy. I will show you that as well today. Then obviously we'll get on to drawing of histograms, bar graphs, score charts, regression line next week. Lovely. So this is our intro and part 1 of statistics. So let's go. So I've given you 10 students are in a class. This is their scores out of 50. The first question that they ask you for is your mean. So, what do you need to know? Let's look at this. Our mean, so you need to go ahead and write mean. It's equals to your x bar. So can you see, another representation for mean is your x bar. As well as another word for mean could mean your average. Alright, so now that you know your average is what you need to calculate. So let's see, our formula says, according to this here, it's the sum of all the digits. So it's the sum of all the digits divided by the number of items. So you can go ahead, you can say it's my sum divided by my items, by the number of my items. So let's go ahead and calculate our sum. So do you agree my sum will be what? 22 plus 23 plus 27 plus 30 plus 40 plus 45 plus 47 all over, plus 50 there. Right. So plus 50 plus 21 plus 22 divided by 10. Lovely. And that will give you your final answer. Now, do you agree with me? This is a bit tedious. It takes time. It's wasting my time. But anyway, the reason I'm sharing with you is for some cases you'll need to use this specific formula. So now you go ahead and you add all of this in your calculator and you actually find the correct answer. So we're going to go 22 plus 23 plus 27 plus 30 plus 40 plus 45 plus 47 plus 50 plus 21 plus 22 is equals to 327, and then we're going to say divided by 10, which is now 32.7. So your grade average is what, youngsters? 32.7. Lovely. So that's how you calculate your mean. Now let's look at the next one. The next concept that talks to us is mode. As you can see, what does it say by mode? Mode is your number that occurs the most. So if you're looking at this data, you need to go ahead and look at which number occurs the most here. So which number occurs the most if you're looking at it? Let's see, 22 occurs twice and every other thing occurs once, so it will be 22. But what happens if I went and put another 21? Then do you agree with me that 22 comes out twice and 21 comes out twice? So your mode will be 22 and it will be 21. That's just to show you if you have two numbers that come out the exact same amount, then you'll have 22 and 21. Understand? But obviously we're not really interested in that, but I'm just showing it to you guys in case you come across a question where it has exactly both of them. Right. Then we're moving on to number 3. Number 3 basically says what? It's your range. So if you're looking at our formula with regards to range, right? So let's take a look at what range says. Our range basically is telling us that it's our highest minus our lowest. So what is my highest number here? 50, agreed. Lovely. So it's your highest minus. And what's your lowest number with regards to this here? 21. So 50 less 21 should give us what? 29. Lovely. So now we've calculated our range. So do you all understand now what's a mean, a mode, and a range? Perfect. Now I'm going to go on to the next one. So I'm going to erase all of this here and I'm going to move on to the next one. Alright. So mean, mode, and range we are now complete. The next one that I want to talk to you youngsters about is your median. Now, let's look at number 4 here. Number 4, it's known as our median. Now your median can be called many types of things. It can be called your middle one. So can you see, it can be called your middle number. So with regards to your median, it can be called your middle number. It can be called Q2. Or it can be called our last name, which is our 50th percentile. Can you see that? So that's all the different words that you should be looking out for your median. It can be called what? Your 50th percentile, your Q2, or your middle number, or a median. Right. Now before you do a median, you need to ensure that your data is in ascending order. So, step number 1 before you answer a median, right? Step number 1 is to ensure data is in ascending order. Ascending order. Now let's have a look at this. Right. Is my data that is given here in ascending order? No, my data is not. So I need to go and arrange it in ascending order. So how do I go ahead and do that? Remember, ascending order is from your what to your what? It's from your smallest to your biggest. Agreed. Your ascending order is from your smallest to your biggest. So what's my smallest number here? It's 21. Then my next number is 22. Then it's 22 again. Can you see twice? So I've calculated 21. I've taken into consideration 22, 22. Right. Now I'm going to go to the next one. There. It's 23. Right. Then I got no 24, no 25, no 26, but there's a 27. Right, then I got 28, I got no 29, I got a 30. Right? Then I got no 31s, went all the way to 40. Right? Then I got a 45. So I've taken down my 40 and my 45. Can you see? Then I've got a 47 and a 50. So 47 and 50. Lovely. So now I put my data in ascending order. Right, can you all see that quite clearly there? Median can be your middle, your Q2, your 50th percentile, or you can go ahead and write it out specifically like this. Nothing major, nothing difficult about that. They love it. Or neighborhood. Right. Now let's move on to what we actually going to answer with regards to this here. Right. So with regards to getting our median, we need to use the formula. So your median is another step after this here. It has your step number 2, sorry. Step number 2 is you need to use the formula a half into n plus 1. Now remember, this formula helps you calculate your position. Your what? Your position. Not your answer, it's your position. So we're going to go here and we're going to put our position. Right, now you'll see why we have to arrange this in ascending order. Right, so now that it's in my position, youngsters, I have to go into a half. Right? In place of n, the number that you put there is the amount of items, or the amount of students, or the amount of things. Agreed? The reason I'm using such words is because things mean literally everything. So how many items or how many students are we taking? We're taking of 10 students, agreed? So 10 plus 1, which now equals to a half of 11, which is what? 5.5. Now we need a decimal. Let's see. If this answer comes out to a decimal, then do this. The nth before and the nth after divided by 2. So now you need to go to the 5th position of your stuff. Right. So once we've got this specific answer here, can you see this gives me my position? Does this give me my answer? No. It gives me my position. Then I need to apply step number 3. Step number 3 is, if it is a decimal, I have to go to the 5th position. So I have to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do you agree that's the 5th and that's the 6th? Right. Those are the ends, basically. So you have to do what? If it's between a number, so even if this was 5.2, if it was 5.7, if it was 5.8, as long as it's between two numbers, all you do is you take that number and the number after. So you have to take 27 plus 30, add them together and divide it by 2 to get your actual answer. And this here is what you will call your median. So you can go ahead and say, now this here is my median. So you're going to say 27 plus 30, then you're going to say divided by 2, and if that gives you a decimal like how it gave me here, it's fine to have that specific answer. So please, let's follow the 3 steps again. You need to arrange your data in ascending order. After it's arranged in ascending order, you need to do step number 2, which is a half into n plus 1. Find out the position. If the position is between two numbers, then you need to go to the numbers in your stuff, take that number and the number after it, add them together and divide by 2. Add them together and divide by 2. Right. Now, that's exactly all the steps that you need to do with regards to your median. Then you need to do those same steps with regards to this 5-number summary, which I'm going to show you right now. So I'm going to erase this, but I'm going to leave this ascending data here. Right. So we know how to do our median. Quite simple, quite easy for us. Right. We know all the steps on how to do our median. Now we need to do our 5-number summary. So as you can see, you're going to have a 5-number summary. Right. So let's number 5 for today. Right. You're going to have a 5-number summary, which is your minimum. And when you're doing your minimum, you represent it as a dot. Understand? Then you're going to have your maximum. You also represent it as a dot. Then you're going to have your Q1. And your Q1 can be called different names as well. So it can also be called your what? Your 25th percentile. Can you see that? Not so difficult. Then you're going to have your Q2, which we've done already. Remember, our answer was 28.5, so I'm just going to put there. Okay, I'll write down the answers now. It can be Q2, which is going to be our 50th percentile, or the middle or median. Percentile, or your middle, or your median. Right. And then you're going to go on to the last one, which is your Q3. Can you see this is your 5-number summary? they will ask you to calculate your 5 number summary. Right, so let's go ahead here. It's going to also be called your 75th percentile. So you can call it Q3 or your 75th percentile. So see, you can either call it your 25th percentile, your 50th percentile, or your middle or your median, or you can call the last one Q3 your 75th percentile. Now before I show you how to draw it, let me show you how to calculate it. Your data firstly needs to be in ascending order. So we know that is 47. Your data needs to be in what order? Ascending order. Now let's calculate our minimum. Your minimum is your lowest number. So what's my lowest number? It's 21. Then what's your maximum? Your maximum is 50. Now you have to make sure your data is in ascending order, not in the jumbled up form that they gave it to you. Why, youngsters? You will see now, right? So you need to calculate now your Q1. Your Q1's formula, as you can see here, is a quarter into n plus 1. But remember, this gives us the position. Right? And this n that's represented there, so this entire thing here gives you your position. And that n means the items, the number of items. So it's going to be a quarter into 10 plus 1. And remember, this answer that it gives us here is your position. So let's take a quarter of 10 plus 1. So a quarter of 11, right? We're going to get 2,75. Right. Now with regards to this 2,75, this is your position. Right? This is your what? Your position. This is not your answer. So you need to do what? You need to go ahead and find your position. So it's between the second and the third, can you see? So you're going to say your second number plus your third number divided by 2, and that will equals to your actual Q1, can you see? So let's go here. That's my first number, that's my second number, and that there is my third number. So my second is 22 plus my third, which is 22, and then I need to divide it by 2. And my final answer will be 22. And that's now the value of my Q1. Can you see, youngsters, I followed the steps. I said Q1 is a quarter into n plus 1. That was my position. If it gives you a decimal, you have to say the n plus the n, meaning the item that the number before and the number after. So if it is like 2.3, you have to take the second and the third. If it is 2.8, you still take the second and the third. Do not round off. Right, and remember, this is referring to your positions, it's not referring to your actual answers. Lovely. Now that you have that all there, you can go ahead and say your Q3. Now let's go ahead and calculate our Q3. So what was our Q3, youngsters? My Q3 is what's my formula? Let's have a look at my formula for Q3. Here's it here. It's 3 over 4 into n plus 1. 3 over 4 into n plus 1. Right. Now that I know that it's 3 over 4 into n plus 1, I'm going to say what? 3 over 4 into 10, because remember that's the items n plus 1. Remember, this gives me my position. 3 over 4 gives you your what? Your position. Now you're going to say 3 over 4 into 11, and what will that answer be? So it's 3 over 4 into 11, close the brackets, and that's going to be 8,25. So, to get your final answer with regards to this here, it's going to be what? It's going to be your 8th number plus your 9th number, and you have to divide it by 2. Understand? So, you can now say your Q3 will equals to, let's go, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So, it's your 8th number plus your 9th number. Can you see? So it's going to be 45 plus 47 divided by 2, and then your Q3 will equals to. So 45 plus 47, 92 divided by 2, it's around 46. Lovely. So now you've calculated all. You've calculated your Q1, your Q3, your minimum, and your maximum. But what's my Q2? Remember, we've calculated the Q2 in the previous one. Because your Q2 means your median, and it means your middle, and it means your 50th percentile. Lovely. So it was 28,5. Now we are not done. They will ask you to draw this specific box and whisker. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to erase this, but I'm going to keep my answers here. So I'm going to erase this data. And whenever I wrote, I hope you guys took all of that down. If not, just pause the video and then you can take it down. So we have our Q1 to be what? My Q1 was 22. See, I'm not taking down the position, I'm taking down the answer. My Q3 was, okay, let's put Q2 first. Q2 was 28,5. And my Q3 was equals to 46. So, downstairs. Can you see this is what makes up your box and whisker or your 5-number summary? If they ever ask you to calculate your box and whisker and then draw it, or if they ever ask you to calculate your 5-number summary, this is the things you will need to do. Love it. Perfect. So let's go ahead. Now you need to draw it. So here's your number line here, and then you need to represent each number. So say here's the number 21. Say there's the number 50, right? Let's just say there's 22 over there. Then we can say there's 28 over there, 28,5, and then we can say 46 is around there. Right. Remember, you guys, when you draw this 5-number summary on the number line, you need to ensure that it's what? That it's in the same proportion, like using specific centimeters, etc. Lovely. Now let's look at this here, right? In place of 21, it's your minimum. So when you represent a minimum, you have to represent it with a closed dot and a maximum with a closed dot. So on top of 21, you put a closed dot, and on top of 50, you go ahead and put a closed dot. Can you all see that there? Lovely. Now that you have the 2 closed dots, you put a line at each one here, and you represent Q1, Q2, and Q3. Can you see? Then you join these lines like this, like making a box. Can you see? Like you're making a box. Can you see that? And there's the whiskers. So box and whisker or 5-number summary. Can you see how you draw it, youngsters? Please make sure you know how to draw it. Your minimum and maximum are represented by 2 points, and these all here are just represented by 3 lines going down at that specific value. Lovely. Now let's go into our next type of thing, right? Right. So the next part, like I said, is using our calculator to actually go ahead and solve for our mean. So see, it's your calculator method. So now you don't have to actually even do the formula, because I'm going to show you how to use your calculator. So you can go ahead using your calculator, you can calculate your mean, your standard deviation, and your variance. Now let's see how mean is represented. It's represented with an X and like a line on top. We call this our X bar. Then the one that looks like a bit of an apple or bomb, you call it your standard deviation. And if you square that answer, you get your variance. So you see your mean, standard deviation, and your variance. Understand that, the youngsters? I hope you're all okay with that. Lovely. All good in the neighborhood. Right. So the first thing that you're going to do is say, there's your data over here. You now need to take the specific data and follow these steps. So let's go ahead and do it in my calculator so I can show you all how to figure out these answers. So we're going to go ahead. Here's my calculator over here, and there's my steps over there. Right. So step 1, as we can see, it says mode. So we're going to take my calculator and we're going to press mode. Then step number 2, as you can see over there, it says stat. So now we're going to say stat 3. Right. Then can you see in step number 3, it says variance. Now just remember here with variance, right? Let's just make it 1 minus variance so you guys don't forget, right? So it can be here 1 minus variance. Just 1 minus variance. Now, so you're going to now press in your calculator, see there, Can you see the 1? So you press number 1. Then it says X. Then as you can see at my steps it says fill in data. So we're now going to fill in the data. And where's my data? There's all my data there on top, right? There's my data there on top. So it's going to be 10. Then you say equals to, can you see I'm filling it in, right? 20 equals to, 15 equals to, 16 equals to, 17 equals to, 18 equals to, 19 equals to, 22 equals to, 23 equals to, 24 equals to. Now we've got it. Then you have to press AC. So we've pressed AC. Now we say shift 1. Right? After we say shift 1, we have to press 4. Can you see according to my steps? We've pressed AC, shift 1, now it says VAR. Then we solve for variance 4. Shift 1, 4. Right, can you see all of these things come up? It says BOM of the X and X bar. So let's see, we want X bar first, mean. Can you see it gave you your mean already, 18.4. So now you can come across here and you can say my mean is 18, my mean will be 18,4. Right. So that there is my mean. My standard deviation is something like that there with an X. Right? So you go ahead and you now solve for your standard deviation. So you don't refill in the data or anything, you just say shift 1. You say 4, and can you see there's it there, number 3, that kind of a bomb looking thing there. There we go, and that gives you 3.97. Right. So that gives you a standard deviation of 3.97. Lovely. Now that you have 3.97, you now need to calculate your variance, which is your bomb squared. So all you do is you take this answer of 3.97 and you go and you press squared, see A and S squared, and you press equals to, and you get 15.84, and then you go ahead and you plug this 15.84 there, and that's your final answer. I hope you guys enjoyed part 1 of stats. Next week we'll complete regression or jive, positively skewed, negatively skewed, evenly skewed, all of those things. Lovely, and outliers. Perfect.